Alright, it is July 10th, 2004. Crazy, 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 crazy. Anyhow, I thought that in this beautiful month, post Pride, I should make a little coming out story video. Basically, I have always known since I was birthed that some wasn't right. I remember I used to go to this church, and every day going to church was, a battle for me and in my living space. Cause a motherfucker was like, put on that dress. And I was like, but the drip. And that was the beginning of my journey with fashion. I'm not kidding. Like, literally, I was like a toddler, and I was like, actually, I kind of like this. And I remember, like, my brothers used to have all the clothes I wanted. Like, they had all the shit I wanted. They had the shirts I wanted, the pants I wanted, the shoes I wanted, And they, honestly, they had style, from the jump. And I would fucking steal their clothes all the time. It got to a point where some people in my world were accepting of the fact that I wanted to wear men's clothing, and some weren't. And I gravitated towards more people who were okay with it, and that was just kind of a journey within itself. I think as time progressed within like school and friendship and social dynamics, my behavior was always strange to people. For like my day ones, my guy friends who knew me and they talked to me, and of course puberty wasn't a thing. They were like, "That's my nigga." I don't know. That was just kind of that. It wasn't really much to it. I think in terms of like my sexuality, I've always gravitated towards anything and anyone who was kind and sincere to me. I was like, I love you. Like, simply put. I think, of course, in the midst of that, there were situations and experiences that were quite unfathomable. But, however, we persevere. And yeah, I just went through life always kind of having this internal knowing of myself, and having this consistent pushback on me in my expression, and knowing that my interests were always pertaining to the arts, knowing that all I ever woke up and did was play and draw and sing and try to act and do all these things. And this was not only an escape, but it was my truth. I knew that this was something that I needed, and not only needed, but was made for, like, for real, you know what I mean? And something that really was devastating, especially as I got older, was sort of doors that I never got to open because of being misgendered, and missexualized, I guess. And that was something that pushed me into a really, really dark space for a very long time, and I think it changed me, like it just did. And I think throughout my experiences, people and myself experienced, sort of like this sort of darkness, this ominous and eerie vibe. I'd be like hanging out with dudes, and they'd be like, "Oh no, man, you just not normal." I'd be like, "Yeah." What about it? And that was just kind of that, I think in terms of like my male friendships, as long as they remained, you know what I'm saying, I was who I was, and nobody could take that from me, and I wouldn't, it was just always a good time. I think through people perceiving me as a woman, it really made my ability to exist challenging. And through that, I definitely developed some sort of antisocial personality, and that's just kind of where we're at now, and that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I think like it was really hard wanting to be someone to people, and feeling this sort of confusion, not only within myself but mentally, because I knew people were doing things to me that I didn't deserve. And through adopting a female expression in myself, I realized a lot of things were very fucked up. I kind of would ebb and flow through my clothing and just my general demeanor, just to kind of like really see what was up, because I was like, okay, this is a personal journey, but at the same time, now I'm seeing the world in its full essence. And I think with that came a lot of downsides, but a lot of upsides. One thing I will say is that the female experience is excruciatingly painful. Shout out to women, because y'all be going through it. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna lie. But shout out to men too, bro, because it's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. It just is. It really just is a lot. I think that I have this duality to myself now, and it's been awesome to like also be able to see that gender studies and sexual identity is becoming more of a subject within the mass populace, because it's been so hard having to explain and explain and explain and explain and get shot down and explain, and just the persistent cycle. But I think I've gotten to a point where I feel secure enough in myself, and I feel good in my identity, and I'm excited. I'm excited to continue to pursue that, and to continue to blossom and grow into myself, because I worked really hard to be here, and there were many days where I didn't think I was going to be here. And in those times where I did the soul searching, it's where I did the shadow work, it's where I did the therapy and the walks and the everything else that is also now in the mainstream, and that's okay. But I think that it also creates a lot of frustration in me, because I've been talking for so long, and when you talk for so long and nobody hears you for so long, you kind of just stop caring. And I stopped caring. I really did. I don't think that's the same thing as not being loving. I think loving is innate to life. It just is what life is. But yeah, here I am. My name is Jessie. I go by he, they pronouns. And that's my story.